Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back at one of my favourite locations, a riverbank in the forest, a few kilometres outside the village. I was a little worried because of the torrential rain that it would be flooded, but I'm glad I persevered. The sun is even coming out. On the way here, I was listening to Muse's Explorer, if any of you know this song. I love the message, particularly the Gnostic message, about having one's soul imprisoned on this earth. And I love the general message of the song. However, there's one part of it which really annoys me, and that's all the land is owned, there's nothing for you and me. And this is not true. This may be true in your area, but your area is only one tiny, tiny part of a complete planet. And there are lots of parts of this planet which either are not owned or easily available, cheaply available. What this requires to live this in tune with nature, this bush, off-grid life, it's not money, it's not land ownership, it's sacrifice, which in some ways is more costly than taking out a mortgage to buy a couple of acres next to several other acres owned by farms or corporations. Many of us look up to the old Alaskan pioneers, people who travelled to the far north, bringing with them basic equipment, who then chopped down their own trees, converted it into lumber and built cabins, who survived grueling winters. These people showed the sacrifice it needs in order to be able to live that way. They put that first over everything else. It's very easy to sit in suburbia and say, there's nothing for me, when you have to pay to visit a park or a national trust property, or when you go to a forest and you can only walk on a specific path with handrails and all the trees are in order because they're all the wrong species, because they're being grown for timber and not as a wild paradise like nature should be. It's very easy to say, there's nothing here for me, nothing left. But this is not true. There are many parts of Europe which give away free land. There are many old properties just lying derelict with their own plots of land. But you have to move there. And to move there means to leave your family, to leave your friends, to leave your job, to leave your pub, to leave your supermarket. It's choice. What do you see as more important? The ultimate dream is to be able to move to a plot of land or a forest and have a community of like-minded people. People who will respect you and your choice of how you want to live. You've got an eagle flying over my head now. But quite often this doesn't happen. Quite often you will be the only person in that entire region who speaks your language. And you have to adapt to the locals, like I've had to do. It's about choices and about sacrifices. You know, you may think, but I want my kids to go to a good school. I may get a promotion. I may get a better car. These things you have to weigh. Do you want to wake up with greenery around you? Do you want to feed yourself with the sweat of your brow and the blisters on your own hands? Or do you want to complain about processed food and traffic jams and irrational managers and bosses? I get really tired of seeing all these YouTube videos, especially this new bout that's come out in the last couple of years, where you basically have some sexy young lady frolicking around with next to nothing in some paradise off-grid resort, claiming they do everything for free. The reality is far closer to the true natural experience, which is self-reliance. It's you making the decision, I want to live surrounded by nature as best as possible. In the West, it's never going to be as easy as you think. There is always going to be some legality, some bureaucracy, some intrusion from modern society. Ask yourself what you want. Oh my God, a beautiful two kingfishers have just flown past me. Incredible. Ask yourself what you want. Ask yourself what you need for your soul, because this is soul food. There are a lot of comments at the moment from much bigger YouTubers than me, who live a similar lifestyle or promote a similar lifestyle. And that's this thing about positive and negative messages. Today I actually came out to go hardcore conspiratorial about a theory I have based on deductive reasoning and logic, and about our future. And then I came out and spent some time here, and I realized it can wait. I want to enjoy this moment. It's been a while since I've been here, and I want to enjoy it. I could drop dead of a heart attack this evening. So ask yourself what you need and what you want. Ask yourself also what you're willing to sacrifice. Be honest with yourself. Nothi suton, know thyself. There are different levels of sacrifice. For some, it could be a weekend they're willing to sacrifice. Maybe one weekend a month. Start finding a way to spend time in nature one weekend a month. Maybe that's too much. Maybe one night, one day. This idea that everybody has the right to just live in nature is not strictly true. Because what sets the boundary for this, what sets the limits, is you yourself. And I'm not talking ability now. When I came out here, I knew nothing about building and upkeeping a property in the middle of nowhere. Nothing. I've learned by trial and error and by watching people much more experienced than myself. But it's not a right, it's a challenge. I also believe, as I often say, in this balance. You have to really understand yourself. I have this kingfisher again. Crazy blue colour. I have very close family members and friends who love this lifestyle, but they also love technology. They love being able to pick up a phone and dial a takeaway. I miss that. I'd love to be able to phone a Chinese or an Indian takeaway, or a kebab at 3 in the morning. So you have to know where your limits are. But these people who I'm referring to, they will spend all weekend photographing birds in a wildlife sanctuary. They're out there in the fields, surrounded by nature, appreciating nature, but in their way. And I know a few of these people have actually done the hardcore off-grid thing. They've given it a try. But you have to know yourself. To say that there's nothing left, that's laziness. There is. But you have to have the knowledge of yourself. What do you want? What do you need? I need this. There is land out there. There is a spot in nature for you. You just have to define what that spot means. Do you really want to head into the Alaskan bush and face grizzly bears and wolverines with an axe and a handsaw, take down giant trees and somehow build a tiny wooden cabin which will be infested with mice and woodworm and grit it out? Because for some people, that's what they need. Or would you prefer to go glamping once a month and stay in some luxury yurt with a beautiful view of nature, maybe next to a river? Maybe you like fishing. Every weekend just go fishing for a few hours, sit by the water. Whether you catch something or not, for me that's irrelevant in fishing. It's just being there, being able to clear your head. But a word of warning. I truly believe these options are coming to an end. There are agendas at play which will remove our choice to do this, unless we are one of a tiny number of very, very wealthy and connected, powerful individuals. We are being herded into restricted urban environments where we will need special day passes to be able to visit these little forest paths with railings and asphalt floors and warnings like danger, nettles. That is our future from what I see, unless we all decide to say no collectively. The only way you can truly know what you want and what you need in terms of nature is to spend time in it. How have you learned? And do you still plan to go further? Do you still have that urge, that need to go further? As always, be free.